Good morning, world. Sorry for my little delay in giving you an update. Oh, I've just stood in a muddy puddle. That's really great start to the morning. Lovely. So I have a little bit of an update. So I've been battling with Citroen. Battling's the wrong word. I've not been battling with them, with my sores. I've been emailing them back and forth, and some emails got, a bit mislaid. A couple of emails where I think wires were crossed. They were trying to basically cancel the Ami altogether and give me my money back, which I didn't really want. I wanted another Ami. But in the end, they've agreed to supply me with a new Ami. They're going to replace mine with a new one. Originally, they wanted me to reapply for finance, to reorder one online. And I went back and said, can you just clarify this? Because I don't really want to have to do another credit check, and it'll mess up all of the payments that I've already made. So in the end, they said, no, you're right. What we're going to do, we're simply going to send you another Ami. And it's currently, according to their email 7 days ago, it's in PDI. So they're going to be sending me a brand new one. So that's really good. It means that they've identified there's a problem. I'm not going crazy. And I think because the dealer tried to fix it twice and they couldn't, I think they're obviously aware that there's a bit of a problem with mine. So good news. It's what I wanted to hear. I do love the Ami. I've been driving the Ami now. I think it's been since late December, early January now. So I've had it for like a good few months, 3-4 months. And I've clocked up about 600 miles so far. And I do love it. If the weather's like this, it's just a lovely sort of dry day today. There's a bit of sunshine peeking through there. If the weather's like this, it's perfect. The windows don't steam up. It's really, really great. It gets warmer inside, but when it's wet and cold, it's really not the same thing at all. It's a real nightmare. But we're coming into summer. I'm not going to think about next winter. We've had enough of winter, haven't we? So I'm really pleased. So the Ami's going to be replaced. There's been a couple of other little hiccups, though, I've noticed. I'm going to head back to it now. So basically, when I'm driving along, there is, just going to watch this muddy puddle again. When I'm driving along, there's an electrical ticking sound coming from behind me. I thought it was grit or gravel, but it's not. It's like an electrical ticking sound. Not a relay, but just a really weird interference sound. There she is in all her glory. So that's a bit odd. The other thing, I've got to adjust my volume now because I'm going to shout. The other thing is both of the locks have started to go really stiff. Both of them. I think it's just dirt going on the back of the locks. So I've tried like WD-40, GT85, and it worked for a little while. So what I've done, I've actually got some special lubricating oil grease stuff, and that's really helped. They're a lot smoother now. So that's one little thing that's a bit quirky. But yeah, now the weather's getting a bit warmer. I'm not getting the beep of doom. It's not really losing power the same. The range is definitely more predictable as well. I'm getting probably about 38, 40 miles, I think. But I haven't really run it down that low yet because I'm a bit nervous doing that. So yeah, it's been really good. I've had lots of little things I've had to do. I've had to clear out one of my lockups. So I had loads of car parts and wheels. So I put the wheels of my Mini in here, 2 of them. Big wide wheels in the Mini. Loads of bits and pieces. I had a gas barbecue in here. When Ava had her birthday party, we hired these little car things, and the people couldn't collect them. So they asked me if I would take them home, and I had the Ami. I was like, okay. So I put them in the Ami, and literally they filled the entire car, and I literally had my feet over them as I drove with my pedals like a puppet over the top. But it was fine. I got home okay. It was only around the corner. This car, quadricycle, golf buggy, blah, blah, the Ami, there is nothing better if you're going to do small little trips to the shop, to the library, to the nursery, to wherever you need to go, and it's a couple of miles there and back or even less. There is nothing better than this. Nothing. If it's not wet and dark and, where we live, there's no street lights. We live in a little village called Ferring, and it's really dark. So at night time, you cannot see barely anything. And they've got these little white stones everywhere, and if you misjudge it, you'll crash into one. So when you're reversing out at night time, you can't see anything. What I've done, and I'm going to share this little tip, I've bought this little thing. It's a little USB light strip, and it's brilliant. You plug it in and it illuminates the whole floor of the car so you can see everything, and it doesn't really glare, so it's perfect. That was like £1, if that, on Amazon. I bought this for my Abarth way back about 4 years ago. It's perfect. It really solves that problem. So get a little LED light strip like this, plug it into your USB socket, and it will illuminate all the floor. Perfect. So I do that. So you just have to be careful. But other than that, when the weather's mild and it's not too bad, the Ami is just perfect. It really is. It's you jump in it, you turn the key, you go. It's just great, and you can park it pretty much anywhere. You really can park this pretty much anywhere. So I do love it. I think at the very beginning I was just really, really frustrated by the service aspect. The service definitely has been very very weird. It's the communication's not been great. It's been a wee bit sort of a wee bit poor. It hasn't been really the most organised process. But we're getting out of that now. So hopefully Ami Mark II won't leak. Maybe won't have the same problems as this one. Maybe it will have a new set of problems. I don't know. I'm assuming that all of these will have some little quirk given their build. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, I'm really pleased. I'm getting another one, so that's good. And it's been really good fun. I've just really enjoyed driving around in it. So I will stick you up here and we'll go for a spin. I'll head back home and let's see if you can hear this little ticking sound. So what we'll do, we'll pop you here and we'll go. I've just dropped Dave off at nursery, so she's away and she loves the Ami. She asks Daddy if she can go on the Ami, so it's really good. And it's a wee bit of an occasion for her, so yeah, it's really good. So we'll get going. So it's quite cool this morning. It's probably about 8 degrees now, but it was about 2 degrees this morning. So let's go. Let's do a 0 to 60, 0 to never. So, there we go. We are on VMAX. Wobbling around, sorry guys. It's the phone holder's not very good in the Ami. It's a bit wibbly wobbly. And I haven't closed my door properly, it's rattling. I know now why they're called suicide doors, because if you open this door at any speed, it just flies open, obviously, because the wind catches it. So you've got to do it when you stop. But it's great. In the summer, the light coming through the roof. It's just really good fun. And I know now why there isn't a rearview mirror, like I said before. It's because you'd get stressed out with all the traffic behind you. But to be honest, nobody's really been that awkward or difficult about it. It's been absolutely fine. And I've just really enjoyed owning it. I think more people should drive these for little local trips. Like, for example, there was a lady this morning coming into our nursery, and she's got this massive Range Rover. This massive Range Rover. And for some reason, she tries to bring it right inside the forecourt of the nursery, between the two walls. And it takes her literally 2 minutes to manoeuvre this thing in front of the door. And then even longer trying to get out. And I, of course, this morning got caught behind her, so I had to wait. And by the time she got out, I would have been halfway home. I mean, really? I think people have to start ditching their big SUVs for these local trips. We live in a very class-based system in Britain, and people think that if they've got a really expensive car, it sort of reflects on them as being a more classy, expensive person. That's really not the way it is at all. I've had lots of expensive cars, very expensive cars, and I dress like a student, so I don't really care. But I'm learning that actually, there's the white one again. I'm learning that you don't need big, expensive cars today. This is the future. Small, easy to drive, economical, environmentally friendly-ish vehicles. And I really do. I have really bought into that. I will be honest though and say that I put an order in for a new electric car. I won't say which one, but I put an order in for an electric car. And I had some time with it my experience is based on the Ami as well. You know, just the charging in the cold and the range that gets affected by the weather and so on. I decided to cancel the order. And I tell you why. I just don't think we're ready for... in this area, we're not ready for full electric. We're just not. So I had this other car, and the range was getting quite low. So I thought I would take it to the local supermarket to plug it in, only to realise that both of the charge points were broken, and one hadn't worked for years. The lady said there was condensation behind the screen, it had the red warning light on, it didn't work. So I asked if there was anything else nearby. I checked online, there was nothing. There was nothing at all nearby. So I thought, if I really was desperate to get a charge that day, what on earth would I have done? Like, where would I have gone? I would have been snookered. I would have had to get the car recovered. There was no way for me to drive the car. So I thought, crikey, especially when you've got a little one, I thought, it's really not going to work. So I've cancelled the order, and I'm just waiting for my deposit to come back, because I just realised that, I don't know why I've got my glasses on, sorry. I just realised that it's just not viable for us at the minute. So the Ami I'm going to use as much as I can. Obviously the local trips I can use the Ami for. I try to avoid the 50-mile-an-hour roads as much as I can. But I have had it on a couple of 40-mile-an-hour roads, and it's been okay. You know, people will obviously just move out of your way. I'm panicking, going, oh my God, somebody's going to crash into me. They're going to give me the fingers. But people just pull past. It's like a slow-moving vehicle. They'll just move past. Don't worry about it. I don't. I try not to worry about it now. I just, go and just get on with it. And, it's fine. You feel a little bit vulnerable, but it's absolutely fine. And so I'm going to use this as much as I can. So, hopefully in the summer, I'll be using this, more when the weather's better. And the experience so far has been good. I mean, it's been a mixed bag for me, as everybody knows, but largely it's been very, very good. And I've really enjoyed owning it. And I would recommend it. I think for small little trips, this is perfect. Kudos to Citroen. In the end, they've come round and they've acknowledged that there's a problem. They haven't really kicked up a fuss at all. They've simply said, okay, we're gonna get you another one. So let's see what happens. In my experience so far, things can change very quickly. So they can say yes 1 minute, they can say no. We just don't know what's going to happen until we go and pick up the new one. I won't really celebrate too much, but I shouldn't really be celebrating. It's just me getting the car that I originally paid for that doesn't leak. But it'll just be nice to get one that doesn't leak in the rain. And that's about it, really. Everything else is going really well. Cruising along, it's all good. We've got the locks sort of behaving themselves a little bit. This electrical ticking sound is a bit weird. I just don't know what that is. It's been getting worse over the last sort of couple of weeks. So I might mention it to Citroen when I drop this off. Also, kudos to the dealer, Worthing Motors. They did, excuse me, they put a bit of damage on one of the panels here. When they were replacing one of the replacement door catches, and in fairness to them, they called me to say they'd ordered me a new panel, and it come in. Excuse me. So that was really good. So they are pretty good at getting all the parts replaced. So yeah, it's all good. So let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks, and I will let you know when I hear back. So have a great day, everyone, and we'll see you soon. And have a good Easter. Bye, everyone. Bye.